Cool. I'm your host for today's Game Room segment, Jaden Woods, and today we're going to be talking about a game made by one of my favorite studios as of late, Larian Studios. A couple months ago I did a game review on the incredible game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3. After playing that game to completion in a little under 130 hours, I decided to check out some of their previous games. This list includes their older Baldur's Gate games, as well as their other series, Divinity Original Sin. I was scrolling through Steam looking for a game that would pique my interest when I came across Divinity Original Sin II. For some reason, I didn't even think to play the first game and just bought it. Since then, like 3 weeks ago, I have already put in over 80 hours. DOS 2 is easily one of the best games that I've ever played. When I first started up the game after beating BG3 relatively easily on standard difficulty, I figured that it'd be doable to beat DOS 2 on Tactician mode. Tactician mode is the most difficult mode that you can play on, and features extremely difficult fights that take genuine skill and tactics to beat. I was obviously arrogant, and this game has humbled me so extremely hard. I have spent literal hours on the fight with Alexander, as well as one specific boss fight on the edge of Joy Island, if you know who I'm talking about. Playing the game on Tactician mode requires you to find and resolve literally every single quest, of which there are hundreds. I'm barely into what is considered Act 2, and I've already completed probably over 100 quests and still have over 50 more that are open. I'm barely scraping by, fighting and scrounging for literally any XP that I can find around the entire massive map. DOS 2 is a D&D based TTRPG created by Larian Studios and released in 2017. The game features a ton of different spells, builds, and playstyles that suit pretty much anybody that wants to play the game. Although the game does not follow D&D anywhere near as strictly as BG3, it's still very addicting and enjoyable for a D&D player. This game, contrary to other TTRPGs as of late, works off of an action point system. At the start of any round of combat, your character is given a set amount of AP out of 6 to use for actions, including movement, which is obviously very different from how BG3 worked. There is also really no jumping or flying, which are both extremely useful and quite frankly necessary to get around in BG3. Although there absolutely is flying, it's just not available to you very early. There is, however, teleporting, which is pretty much your only way to get hidden treasures or spots that wouldn't normally be reachable. Rather than classes, the game lets you level up specific skills that increase different attributes of combat or roleplay. These include things like Huntsman, Warfare, Summoning, etc. For example, leveling up Warfare increases the general amount of physical damage that you do by a percentage. Regardless of this different skill system, the actual characteristics of your character stick to the D&D style, whereas you have strength, dexterity, intelligence, so on and so forth. Similar to BG3, when you start the game, you can either play as one of the pre-designed origin characters, or you can design your own character with their own look, playstyle, and utilities. You get to choose your race as well, which obviously affects the types of interactions that you'll have with pretty much every NPC. You are also able to talk to literally every single NPC that you come across, including animals. And playing on the Tactician difficulty, it's pretty much required that you do so. Every NPC has their own set of dialogue, and a ton of them give out quests, good or bad, that you need to complete to squeeze every drop of XP out of the game that you can if you want to beat it on Tactician. Plus, it's always entertaining to see every character's little droplet of backstory. If I had to give you any advice before you begin to play the game, it would be to save. Save all the time. Save on 3 different slots. Save. If you don't get in the habit of saving every 5 to 10 minutes, you'll lose irreplaceable progress. Save before and after literally every single fight. Save before going into a new area. Save before dialogue. If you don't do this, you'll find yourself retracing hours upon hours of content, making the wrong decisions, having to travel miles to a fight repeatedly, losing dialogue progress, and so much more. It is 1,000,000% worth it to take the 15 to 30 seconds to save on 3 different slots than it is to repeatedly lose hours of progress. This was an issue that was heavily present in BG3 as well, and it's interesting to see that they haven't added automatic quick saves more often. Overall, without fully beating the game yet, I can say for sure that the game is absolutely incredible. It's a beautiful concept that is executed almost perfectly that I would love to get into without having too many spoilers. I apologize for comparing this game so heavily to BG3, but due to its close relation, it's pretty difficult not to. Other than that, there really isn't anything negative that I can say about the game. I signed up for the hardest difficulty, and it absolutely feels like that's what I'm playing on. I'm always looking for a game to challenge me, to humble me, and this game absolutely scratches that itch. For a final rating, I'm going to give it a 9.6 out of 10. Replayability is a huge factor in games for me, and similar to how I felt about BG3, apparently contrary to popular opinion, I don't think that these games handle replayability well. Regardless, it's an incredible work of art, and I cannot wait to go through and play every single one of Larian Studios' games. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jaden Woods, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.